Welcome back to Flying Around the World, Day 4, China Eastern, London, Shanghai, Seoul. One annoying thing about China Eastern is it's very difficult to check in online, and so I wasn't able to pick my seat until physical check-in. Still though, I was able to use the first class check-in, and they assigned me an exit row, which was very nice. After a brief stop in the lounge, it was time to board the aircraft. One of my favorite benefits of elite status is boarding early. It allows me to make sure there's space for my bags, as well as be one of the first people on the plane, which is always fun. And the complimentary exit row doesn't hurt either. Shortly after getting in the air, we were served our first meal. It was edible, but I would say just about edible. And here's the second meal. I'd say this was much less edible than the first one. Also, there was nobody in the middle seat, which is always very appreciated, especially on a long flight like this one, which is nearly almost 10 hours. I arrived in Shanghai, cleared the transit immigration, and then headed to the lounge. One of the nicest things to do after a long flight, especially if you're just connecting and you still have another flight, is take a shower. And so I quickly hopped into the shower and enjoyed a nice cold Coke in there. You ever heard of a shower beer? It's wonderful, but you can also do it with soda. After the shower, it was time to grab some edible food. They had this choose your own noodle bar, which was fantastic. I also grabbed some other food while I was in the lounge, and this was definitely way better than the food on the plane. They had a TV to show you what the staff in the kitchen were doing, which was kind of interesting. Then I spent some time watching the US election results. This was really interesting to watch, especially while in China behind the Great Firewall. I had to use a VPN that was constantly dropping in and out just to see what was happening with the election. Then obviously I had to do some plane spotting. This is my next aircraft that's taking me to Seoul. Turns out it's a SkyTeam livery, which is pretty cool since I am doing a SkyTeam challenge around the world. Then before I knew it was time to board my next flight. I did not have the exit row on this one, but I did have the entire row to myself, which is pretty great. Of course, being 6'6", there's always problems with height when it comes to non-exit rows or non-extra legroom seats. And so as you can see here, yeah, I had basically no space on this flight. In fact, my tray table wouldn't actually go down all the way. So that was super fun. I'm glad I grabbed food in the lounge because this meal was completely inedible. But thanks for flying with me, and I'll see you tomorrow.